Hey guys, welcome to Matters Movie Review, and as always, my name is GK here to give you the very best of Nollywood movie reviews, okay? Now, today we're looking at The Origin, Madam Koi Koi.
This school? Amanda, this is a very good school.
Don't be too hard on this school. It might not look like much, but it's a really good school.
We're here to ask a few questions about the dead body found today.
I can tell you with the utmost certainty that the body found on the outskirts of town is certainly not one of our students.
Now, Madam Koi Koi is directed by J. Franklin Jitubo, and it was written by J. Franklin Jitubo and Bola Dale. Now, it runs for about 1 hour 40 minutes for each of the episodes, and it was shot right in Nigeria. So the two episodes of the series is all about two-in-one spirit of vengeance that torments the town of Malomo in the 1991 due to the return of a lady called Amanda to Malomo community, right? Now, Amanda, acted by Martha, is a young lady whose father took part in the committing of the evil against the spirit, right? The evil two-in-one spirit would raise against Malomo as a result of the wrongful death on them caused by the citizens. The first was the spirit of a woman that was wrongfully cursed and murdered by Babalawo long down the history of Malomo in the 1941. She was accused of killing her children before the age of 4, not knowing that what was killing the children is actually as a result of sickle cell disease, right? Now, the spirit roamed without destination after being cursed and hanged to death, and when they almost unalived the body of the young teacher who was heavily assaulted by the citizens of the Malomo, mistakenly uncovered the thin line between the spirit world and the human world. The cursed spirit possessed the soul of the teacher, making the spirit two-in-one spirit that later tormented the community. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's look at the performance of actors in this particular series. But before we look at the performance of actors in this particular series, please come closer. Let me tell you something. Please click the like button below, click the subscribe button if you want to see me do more of this. If you want to encourage me to do movie reviews, please click the like button, click the subscribe button. This will support me, this will encourage me to do more. Okay? Thank you as you do that. Now, let's continue. Now, let's look at the performance of actors in this particular two-episode series, The Origin, Madam Koi Koi, right? Now, Ireti Doyle's performance in The Mother Superior was exceptional. It was great, I can say. I see that her character was selfish, even though she pretended she had, is it pretending? I don't know. But even though she had good intention for the students, but she had bad, can I say, negative strategies, right? She cared more about herself, more about her self-recognition rather than the welfare of the students. And that's what we see in this particular series. Now, Chuks Joseph as Lachey in this particular film, this particular series, I mean, it was great. Looking back to Chuks' performance in The Dark October in his role as TZ, I mean, Chuks did great there, the same way he brought in here, and he did great in this particular series, The Origin, Madam Koi Koi. In The Dark October, he played the good guy, even though he was labeled the bad guy. But in Madam Koi Koi, he played the bad guy, pretending to be the good guy, right? So, I mean, the guy is great. The guy really, really did well. Moving on, Deyemi Okanlawo as Inspector Theophilus is just one deemed character there, right? As much as Deyemi almost fit into that character, I find it quite difficult to place his person in that Inspector character, even though the performance was good, right? And for Baj Adebule as Oscar, the performance of the Inspector, I mean, Oscar was a bit far away from the Inspector. Seriously, Inspector Oscar chop one clean mouth, but mouth no great clean. Madam Koi Koi caught up with him, right? So it was great. Actually, the performance was great, but it kind of, the characters fit into the actors a bit far away from the Inspector characters, right? Now, looking forward, Chioma Chukwuka as Sister Ruth, I mean, her role was well played, but she had no much to say, I mean, no much to play. She mostly was silent in the movie, even though she only appeared a few places, but she was mostly was silent. Hence, why the students even call her Sister Silence. Moving on, Omawumi Dada as Rosemary, or Madam Koi Koi herself, it fit, I can say. She really did great. She is the reason for the horror, by the way. She played the part very well, I can say. Rosemary is the second teacher that was assaulted, and her spirit bound with the spirit of the cursed mother of the 1941, right? Now, her character playing the horror Madam Koi Koi was really plausible, I can say. The dark shadow that followed her with a dim red light that showed an aura of danger was a bit scary to me, actually. Seriously, it was a bit scary, even though I do not agree with the cutting away from her face before the aliving of a person. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? It's a horror movie, so we should see everything, right? Show us everything, we're ready to see it, so long as we call it a horror movie, right? Also, not forgetting Bolaji Ogunmola as Amanda's mother. Good performance right there, right? Even though there is something about her aging that I would like to talk about later, but she really did great. And also, Jude Chukwuka in the character of Baba Fawole, who could not continue his family Babalao business because he was drunk and gave the wrong prescription that unalived someone's child. Now, moving on to cinematography, camera movement. I really like the camera movement in this particular series. Like the first scene where Amanda woke up from her dream at about 23 minutes into episode 1. It was great, actually. Ideo Adedopo, the DOP of this particular series, I mean, he really got me there because I liked what he did there, right? Now, lighting was also good, even though at some point in Mother Superior's office, the light bounced much on the actors, right? On the actors' faces, making it obvious that it was artificial lighting, which I think it's not supposed to be. Even though the scene was to take advantage of the window to show us a source of light, it wasn't that convincing, right? Makeup was great. Madam Koi Koi's makeup was great. I mean, it stood out. Same as the unalived bodies, showing the horror appearance, right? Even though they hid a lot of the parts that we're supposed to see, like Madam Koi Koi's face always, we're supposed to see it because it's a horror movie, so we need to get scared of the face and all of that. But they just showed it in few of those places, right? I just have a few observations, like 3 observations, and that's all right. My first observation with this 2-episode series is on the screenwriting, or can I say the story itself, right? Now, this is it. The flashback by Baba Fawole on how Rosemary was attacked could have been better done by Sister Ruth. Why do I say this? Okay, so this is it. How will you tell a story that you don't know? And he himself, Baba Fawole, said, Ruth has refused to say anything since the incident happened, which means that Ruth didn't say anything to anyone, right? Then how did he know about Ruth escorting Rosemary to an extent of telling the story of how Rosemary was assaulted, right? So that flashback, I felt like it's supposed to be mainly from Sister Ruth. Secondly, in as much as the series didn't want to deal with aging in this particular series, I mean, why did they age Baba Fawole but allowed Ruth and Amanda's mother? That doesn't make sense. So it's simple. If you want to age actors in a movie, age them. But if you don't want to, do not do it. But all through, all characters, if you're going to be aged, they should be aged. And if they're going to be aged, they shouldn't be aged. Otherwise, why then age one person and leave the other person? We've seen series like Uhtred that ignored aging of characters, but that was because they wanted to tell the story of England through the eyes of Uhtred, not Uhtred through England. And because England's story is big, while Uhtred's is just a lifestyle, right? I mean, a lifetime. Also, I learned that the spirit don't forgive, right? They only respond to sacrifices. So Amanda is still alive, but Rosemary left because Ruth begged Rosemary to leave. The cutting of her hand, was that the sacrifice enough? I don't know. But I thought it's something that's supposed to be more than that, so long as that Babalawo was emphasizing that it's dangerous, it's dangerous, it's dangerous, and all of that, right? Anyways, we hope that there will be something that will come up, because they said Madam Koi Koi has returned, and let's see that happening in episode 3, right? We're waiting to see what will happen in episode 3. However, I would like them to harmonize the story so that we don't have some of the jumpy parts, right? In conclusion, the origin, Madam Koi Koi had good camera shots with good performance, but it has some storylines that were loose-ended, that were not stitched properly. Like how the story of Rosemary got to Baba Fawole and the community, right? That was something that I was wondering how it happened, because they told us this lady, Sister Ruth, kept silent. So how did Baba Fawole now start telling us the story from the perspective of Sister Ruth and Sister Rosemary? I don't get it, right? It's something they need to check about that. Thank you very much, guys, for being with me to this particular end. And as always, my name is GK. Please, if you have not subscribed, do so by subscribing. Help me by growing this channel. Subscribe below. If I'm doing something you think I should continue doing, please press the like button and please subscribe. This will help me a lot. This will motivate me to do more for you. Thank you very much. See you in my next movie review. Salute.